Got my salary today. Let's see what I can do with it. Let's check my feed. Who are you?
I'm social media.
Aw, you look so cute and innocent.
Oh, you'll see.
Okay, let me check my Facebook profile first. What is she wearing on Instagram? Looks really interesting.
Oh, you want that dress? It'll cost you.
Need some entertainment? Let's go to TikTok and see what is happening there. What is this? Oh my god, this gadget is awesome! I need to have it.
Oh, yeah. That's mine. Gotcha. Best friend. I'll be your best friend. But I'm really just in it for the money. Money, money, money. I'm a best friend.
It has long been established that social media is causing misinformation, hate, and harassment. 64% of US adults believe that social media has a negative impact on society. But does that also include financial impact on you as an individual? That is the topic of today's video. How social media keeps you poor. Then by the definition of time is money, social media is indeed making us poor. But Amit, it's not that I was going to make money some other way if I stopped looking at those Instagram pictures. I know. But social media platforms don't stop there. They have 4 dangerous ways in which they slowly drain your bank account. Really? What are those? Don't worry, I'm going to tell you about all 4. And number 3, which I call death by 1,000 cuts, is the most sinister of them all. You can save 50% of your money if you just understand that. But let me start with number 1. Every day, as you scroll through your social media, there is always an ad right there in your feed trying to grab your attention. Almost like that pesky mosquito that buzzes in your ear. You try to swipe that away, but before you know it, another one pops up. And then another, all vying for your precious attention. See, social media platforms are like bustling marketplaces filled with advertisers trying to showcase their products and services to the sea of users. And why wouldn't they do that? After all, these social media platforms thrive on the ad revenue generated by these very advertising companies, thus making them, the advertising company that is, their true customers. Mind it, you are not their customer, the advertising company is. The clever integration of sponsored content in your feed makes it increasingly difficult to really distinguish what is a genuine post and what is just a marketing ploy. And let's not forget those addictive reels of endless videos, carefully curated to get you hooked and continue watching for hours on end. You might start with a cat video, then transition into a mouth-watering cooking recipe. And before you know it, you're watching a very engaging skit with the latest gizmo. It's a subtle yet very powerful way of planting that seed of desire, making you wonder, do I need that gadget or that fancy dress? The truth is, social media has become a playground for advertisers, and they just know how to tap into our desires and impulses. The more time we spend scrolling, the more opportunities they have to influence our decisions and consequently our spending habits. But Amit, I have a solution for that. Let me make a resolution to not click on any social media ad while I scroll my feed. That would save me, right? Wrong. Even if you don't fall for the ads, the social media companies have their next weapon ready for you. Every time we scroll through our feeds, we can't help but feel a twinge of envy as we see our friends, family, and even strangers seemingly living an extravagant lifestyle. We see them jetting off to exotic destinations, dining at fancy restaurants, and donning designer outfits. It is as if we are glimpsing into a world of non-stop glamour and gliss. But here is the catch. What we see on social media is often a curated highlight reel, carefully selected to showcase the best moments from someone's life. we rarely get a behind the scene glimpse of their struggles, challenges, or financial realities. And most of us know it. That's the funny thing. But despite knowing this, we can't help but feel that social pressure weighing us down. And the psychological trick being used on us is called FOMO, the fear of missing out. FOMO is that nagging feeling that everyone else is having the time of their life, while somehow we are missing out on all the fun. As we scroll through the amazing vacation photos of our neighbors or friends, envy creeps in. We start questioning why our lives are not as glamorous, as exciting. Oh, the pressure to keep up with the Jonases or the Jonas. Well, that pressure to keep up becomes overwhelming. We are tempted to go beyond and above our means to chase that elusive mirage of a perfect life because we fear being left behind in the race for success and happiness. So what do? Spend money to satisfy our itch to create an impression. So Amit, what do we do? Should we cut our ties with all these spendy and showing friends of ours? Well, I've already made a video on that. So if you want to discuss that, watch this video. But even if you see through the reality of all this show off and avoid FOMO, unfortunately, there is no way you can save yourself from their sinister weapon number 3. In the vast landscape of social media, every little click, like, or comment leaves behind a digital breadcrumb, silently recording our preference, interests, and habits. It may seem innocent, but what most users don't understand is the profound amount of personal data that is being collected and then the impact that it can have on our personal lives. Social media platforms have real treasure troves of user data. They know what we like, where we go, who we interact with, and even how much we linger over one particular post. This wealth of information allows them to create a detailed digital profile of each user. It's like a virtual replica of ourselves. But what happens to all this data? It becomes currency in the world of targeted advertising and data-driven manipulation. Companies are eager to get their hands on these digital profiles, using them to tailor their advertisements with absolute precision. Suddenly, you find your timeline filled with products and services that seems to mirror your deepest desires. It's as if that platform can read your mind. Tell me, how many times have you felt that? But Amit, isn't that good? I'm only shown ads that are relevant to me. Not really. Let me tell you why. It has all to do with the evil twist on personalization. This high level of personalization might seem very convenient, but it comes at a very high cost. The cost of our own autonomy, our ability to decide for ourselves. Using that data, the social media companies bring out their most sinister weapon. Without you knowing, your behaviors, your preferences are slowly and slightly nudged in the direction that is beneficial to the advertiser. The more time we spend on these platforms, the more data we unknowingly provide to them. And the more data about us they have, more effectively they can manipulate us. Think about those impulsive purchases that you later regretted. Was it really your choice? Or were you guided by the cunning hand of data-driven manipulation? Have you ever seen a viral clip and wondered why it ever became viral? Influencers often take money for a sponsored post and conveniently forget to tell that it's a paid peddling of a product. And the social media platforms go even further. They use several psychological tricks to keep us engaged and scrolling further, allowing the advertisers more time to plant that seed of desire. Next thing you know, you're clicking on buy without a second thought. That is called psychological manipulation. The social media platforms use well-established psychological techniques to manipulate the human mind. Here are some quick examples of these psychological techniques that they use. Confirmation bias is showing you more of what you want to see or believe. With this technique, you are presented with a set of options in such a way that it forces you to pick what they wanted you to pick. In such a scenario, you having an option is just an illusion. Communal reinforcement, telling you that the majority want something or like something, and thus playing on your desire to be part of the majority. This one, the authority bias, is very common on social media platforms. This is our tendency to give greater importance to what is coming from authority figures or people who are famous. Did I say influencers? Last chance, sale is getting over in an hour. We have all seen that. And my personal favorite is when an online course seller claims that there are only 9 copies left of his digital course. It's as if the copy paste function of his computer is not going to allow him to create more copies of that digital course. I hope you found value in this video, and this knowledge will make you slightly less vulnerable to manipulation by social media platforms. Of course, social media is not the only place where you spend money without even noticing it. If you want to know about at least 7 other places where you spend money without even realizing it, watch this video.